Welcome back to the channel, Brite Advisor clients. If you're anything like us here at Cameron James, we are eagerly anticipating the summer of 2025 as we're under good belief that hopefully assets should be returned to the trustee accounts or wherever it might be with your Brite pension assets. Now, today, what we want to be doing is a deep dive into McGrathNicol. Are McGrathNicol connected to Brite Advisors USA? Okay, so we're going to do a slight little rewind here. If we go back to December 2023, as per the Australian Securities and Investments Commission, following a 3-day hearing, the federal court made orders appointing Linda Smith and Robert Kerman of McGrathNicol as the corporate receivers and managers of Australian financial services licensee Brite Advisors Pty Ltd, Brite. Again, a further update we have on the 7th of February 2024, from the Australian Securities and Investments Commission. The federal court has ordered Brite Advisors Pty Ltd be wound up on just and equitable grounds following the application by the Australian Services and Investment Committee. At a hearing on 6th of February 2024, the court appointed Linda Smith and Robert Kerman of McGrathNicol as liquidators to Brite and as receivers and managers of property over assets and undertakings held by Brite on trust for others. So in effect, yes, McGrathNicol are very much linked to Brite Advisors USA, but you could say, in my personal opinion, in a positive sense of the term. They are being brought in as the specialists to understand the situation, have a look what's going on, and make sure that things are put right or that capital is returned to the correct people. Typically speaking, members of the scheme who obviously invested their money, which is you guys watching the channel. Okay, so in terms of McGrathNicol, there's a lot of information available on them online already, but they're from what I can see, a very professional outfit. It says here, McGrathNicol is a specialist advisory firm and restructuring firm with a reputation for helping businesses improve performance, manage risk, achieve stability and growth. What's really interesting about this firm is they've actually been going for over 20 years now. And if you go back to the history of the company, they're extremely transparent with what's on their website. And if you actually read into it, which I have because I'm sad and I like to read about these things, from early June 2024, 14 KPMG partners and 140 employees became part of the newly founded McGrathNicol, with the firm officially opening its doors on the 1st of July 2024. Now, I'm sure you've all heard of KPMG before, as per the likes of PwC and whatnot. So this is a very interesting backdrop of the story. And what I actually really like about this is that there's total and utter transparency as to why the company started. So the introduction of the Sarbanes-Oxley Act in the US meant that KPMG could no longer provide corporate recovery services to certain audit clients, including key banking clients. This dilemma faced many professional services firms at the time and would become the impetus for creating one of Australia's top restructuring and advisory firms. In 2024, McGrathNicol celebrates 20 years in business. In effect, in absolute layman terms, in 2023, the Sarbanes-Oxley Act was actually put in place following the collapse of energy trade and utility company Enron, which changed the world from an auditing and consulting perspective. I love this, how transparent it is that the word Enron, right, let's be honest, everyone knows the word Enron and it's associated with like negative or whatever. I love the fact that McGrathNicol have just been so transparent with it here. It's like, yeah, that's literally why our firm started, or was one of the impetuses as per their words, as to how those employees left KPMG, which is apparently very amicable according to their website. So I love that transparency. I love any type of firm that puts anything online, is really open, transparent and honest about things. I like that. Next, I just found a page as well on the Australian National University, which talks about Mr. Tony McGrath himself, 30 years in experience, etc., etc. So from my perspective, for everything that I've seen, everything that I've read, they seem to be doing an extremely professional job, which is not easy. Obviously, they are the specialists at it. Here at Cameron James, we would fail miserably at trying to do the task that they've been placed with because it's completely beyond our level of expertise. But they seem to be an extremely professional outfit online. And even when you read other bits and pieces online about the company, reviews and things online, even from employees, there seems to be a pretty good vibe. People are very happy working there, which is always a good sign. The employees in the company normally know best. So from our side at Cameron James, of course, we're utterly unconnected to McGrathNicol, but in terms of the process that they're going through, everything that we've read here as a team, we read the updates on a weekly basis, 2-weekly basis, whatever it is. Every time it comes in, we instantly share it as a team. We like to digest it and understand it because you, our clients, are going through this. And we're not necessarily going to expect you to be reading every single report in detail. We are trying to be here to summarize things for our clients. But from me, big thumbs up. I think a lot of hard work is being done. And in terms of the timeline and the time frames, There's also been bits and pieces about saying, oh, maybe we should do it like that. They took feedback from people, but it's like, no, you need to do what is best for the greatest good in a situation like this. If you do have any questions at all about McGrathNicol, or you'd like to speak to ourselves here at Kerman James in terms of your financial planning and how you think you should move forward with your Brite asset, you can book a day and time below that is suitable for you in your time zone to speak to one of our authorized and regulated financial advisors. Now, it's very important to add, once you speak to our financial advisors, typically they will take you through an advice process and you will receive a free regulated advice report on what we recommend you to do. Now, obviously, until your Brite assets become unfrozen, advice cannot be provided in real time as to what we believe you should do, whether that be changing trustee, changing your portfolio, money typically returned in cash. But that advice report will be provided to you at the point in time that the assets have become liquidated. Now, obviously before then, a lot of clients are asking us, well, if Jonathan, say for example, assets were liquidated as of yesterday, what would be your advice at this point in time? Which technically speaking isn't advice. It's just giving people facts and information of saying, this is the XYZ SIP provider or Curates provider that we find to be most professional, lowest cost, most stable in the market. But of course, we can't finally put that in writing for any of our clients in terms of an official advice report until the assets have become unfrozen. I hope you found today's video useful, and please reach out in the comment section below. I know there's a lot of big Facebook groups online for you guys. Feel free to share our video if you find it valuable or not, and feel free to ask questions below in the comment section. What videos do you guys want on this topic? I'm more than happy to film them. And as always, take care with your UK pension assets.